As many of you will come to know, I have a very strong passion for the film industry. It's played an incredibly impactful role throughout my life. Film serves as a great way to introduce us to new perspectives, explore emotions that we may not like or feel comfortable to embrace, broaden our imagination, or even just provide a form of escapism. On Cinema Impact, I wanted to put more of a focus on the impact films have had on society and myself through my own personal experiences. I aim to bring light to a lot more of the positive side of the film industry, but as you all may know, the impact film also has the potential to be quite damaging as well, and there are some cases where I might focus around exploring that. To make this clear, the content being covered through this brand isn't the reviews many of my older audiences would be used to seeing me cover on my previous channel. If that's something you are interested in, I'd recommend following my Letterboxd account, which I'll provide a link for in the description. Through that site, I'll write a basic take on my thoughts for every film I watch. When I cover a film through Cinema Impact, it'll be more of an exploration around the impact it's had on my life or society in general, rather than a critical analysis. I also want to put a strong focus towards recommending many powerful films, as I've actually got to a point as a film enthusiast where I've seen a large enough portion of films to do these recommendation series in an effective manner. There's still a lot left for me to explore that, to be honest, I'll probably never catch up on, but I think at this point it's fair to say I've seen a lot more than the average person, which gives me the ability to identify many of the hidden gems that most people haven't heard of yet. My first series will be focused somewhat around that, with its purpose being to recommend films produced outside the main Hollywood studios that everyone is exposed to. The aim is to keep that as a monthly series, while on the side I work on a few bigger projects that are hopefully brought out in the coming months. One thing I should make clear is that this brand is actually running on two mediums, one being my website through cinemaimpact.org. The link will be provided in the description for those interested, and also this YouTube channel. Through my blog every 2 weeks I'll be covering a film that has had a strong impact on my life. It's recommended that you check out each film before I cover it, as this series is meant to serve as more of an insightful experience around the effect films can have, and therefore when necessary I will discuss spoilers. Some of these films will be easily accessible through streaming services and online sources, and others might be a lot more difficult to get hold of. I don't want to let the accessibility and relevance of these films get in the way of what I cover, as I would rather discuss the films that I can give the most insightful and interesting perspectives on, rather than what's new, accessible and relevant. So some of the films I cover you may have trouble getting hold of or may not have even heard of, but that's in sacrifice for better quality content. The best place to keep up to date on the content I'm working on is through following my Twitter account at TheGoldenMonk1. That's where my main social media presence is. Over time I may expand my presence to a few more sites. I'm just still in the process of deciding which ones will be most suitable. As is probably quite obvious, the logo and channel art are still in the early stages of development. Those will be updated and improved on over time. In terms of when to expect the first piece of content for my YouTube channel, I don't want to yet put any time limitations on myself, but rather focus on creating quality content that doesn't feel rushed or poorly put together in any way. So it may be January, sometime December, I don't know yet, and I don't want to put that limitation on myself. If you really enjoy the content and wish to help out in some way, there will be many opportunities for that over time, possibly a Patreon feed. Whatever it ends up being, it will be set up early next year. It's by no means encouraged, but it does help fund the website domain, the copies of the films covered, and many other resources required to make better quality content. So that option will be there for those who wish to do so. I think that's all I have to say as of now. If the idea of this channel sounds interesting to you, remember to subscribe. That way you get notified when I actually bring out a video. Well, that's if YouTube's notification system works for you. I am aware it's very unreliable for many at the moment. It's always best to follow me on Twitter as well at TheGoldenMonk1 for updates on whatever else I'm doing. So that's it. I'll see you guys whenever my first video comes out.